Dumelang Abshin de Macheroni and um, why there is this thing of politics, especially these political organizations. If it's like Freedom Front Plus, it's going to be like lashing on EFF. If it's going to be like EFF is going to be lashing on MK Mkhonto Wesizwe or either African National Congress or either IFP, UDM or wherever. Why? Why can't they just share their policies, their views, their principles, the things that they would like to pivot, the things that they would like to deviate from or either change? Why can't they talk about those things? All the errors of omissions that were committed the time they legislate these policies. Why can't they share those views? Why can't they share those sentiments rather than to lash, to belittle, to badmouth, to slander other people's reputation just by pointing fingers on the wrong things which are done by other political organization in that sphere, in that space of political space. Why? Why should it be a priority? Why is it a priority? It's like EFF always gonna blame the ANC, or either is blaming DA or whatever the case may be. No, no, no. Just say, as an EFF patriot, as an EFF comrade, I believe that we should do one, two, and three. This is the right way to solve these problems. We can do one, two, and three, and four, and five, rather than to be always creating these conflicts of interest. Trying to blame, to lash, to shift the problem to the ruling party. We know they are problematic already. We already cringe whenever you begin to use their words. ANC, blah blah blah. African National Congress, they did this and this and this and this and that. We understand that, but then just share with us your policies that will probably put our lives in better position. Like, for instance, to say NC is doing one and two and three wrong. Forget about the wrongs that are done by the ANC. We want to perceive your policies. We want to mimic your policies. We want to grasp and understand your policies. And it is our duty and our responsibility to contrast, the viewpoints, to assess, evaluate the what you might call this, to evaluate the indifferences that distinguishes the two policies and see which one is better than the other. Rather than always, when you are given a platform, a podium, or a mic, you're always going to lash. You're always going to throw words like stone towards the other political organization. No. I think Vivek Ramaswamy was very clear on that. It's not like I'm going to point fingers on this and that. I am Vivek Ramaswamy. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I believe about this. Religion, marriage, LGBTQ, transgender, children, education, policies, military, arsenals, and all of these things. Just share your sentiments, share your views, share the things that you would change so that we will look at the existing problems that we perceiving. And then we will then assess, we will evaluate, we will examine. After examining all of these dilemmas, then we will see that, okay, of which you're bringing better bread on our table. Then we will then begin to choose your bread. And this thing, ANC is not, guys, you should be very considerate, especially the masses. Masses are very gullible, and oblivion, if I could put it that way. They don't understand politics. That is why they are easily manipulated by eloquent speeches of these politicians, that is why it is easy to jive for whatever guitar they play. Guys, let us do not point finger one another. Let's do not throw words like stones towards another. Let's try to fix our country. Let us fix our country. What are you going to do? If I'm registering a political organization right now, it's like I should just stop talking about the ANC. I should just share my policies. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. So now it seems like all these political organizations, they are playing one and the very same game. They're pushing one and the very same agenda, you know. We understand. We already furious. We are angry. We are cringing ANC. You know, we hate it by all means in a larger degree, far by extension. We hate it. We are sick and tired of hearing any political wing, any political organization to come and lash on the ANC. We know very well that they are the problem. Just bring the solution to the problem rather than to keep on lashing, belittling, downcasting, underestimating, slandering reputation and all of these things. No, it is unnecessary. It causes an unnecessary havoc. It causes unnecessary conflict of interest. Why can't you just share your policies and then ask people, the masses, we will then decide which policies resonate with us and which policies do we think it can solve our problems. This thing of scratching one another, point fingering one another, trying to open other people's sheets and say this is what the shenanigans, you know, malicious, mischievous, detestable iniquities, corruption, crime, blah, 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 blah. No, we know ANC done all of that. We're sick and tired to hear that. We want to hear proper policies. Do I make myself clear? Without fear of prejudice, I won't beat around the bush. I'm just going to be blunt with you. I've just thought this thing, it is of paramount. People should look at these things in that manner rather than to always lashing on one another. ANC this, ANC sold us, ANC did this, blah, 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 blah. No. Just share the integrity of your policies. And then we're going to choose you. That's what we're going to do. That's what we would like to do now. We've already caught the culprit. The culprit is ANC. We're quite sure about that. And we are not dubious about that. We're very clear, quite frankly, in the nutshell. That is an open book that the ANC is the culprit of where we are today and their leadership and their rulings. We understand that. Just try to unpack your policies. Try to make them to be pretty simple. And we will see if they are relatable to us. You know, some of these people can just follow these political organizations. You find out that a person is an EFF, but he doesn't understand the policies in the EFF. Maybe she just like the personality of CIC, Chief in Command, which is Malema. A person could just like the way Malema, his charisma, the way Malema delivers the speech, you know, the way he portrays things, the way he depicts, the way he explains, you know, the way he presents himself. And then people would just resonate with the character of a person. You follow a person's personality, not the policies of the organization. Some people are very gullible. Some people are very oblivion. So they are not quite sure about the policies. What matters the most, it's not a particular individual's character, but it's the policies that they drive. It's the policies that they are trying to bring on the table. That's what matters the most, not a person's character. I just like President Jacob Zuma because he's a Zulu and I'm a Zulu. That's bullshit. That's crap. That's garbage. I'm going to call it spade on spade, you know, according to status quo. Don't follow politicians because of their personality, because their personality is never going to solve any problem. Follow the policies, because the policies, they are like the backbone of their agenda, you know. They can present, you know, using eloquent speeches, sound words, convincing, persuasive words, but the key components of their speeches must be rooted in their policies, right? Not the character. Their character, their attitude, their behavior doesn't mean anything. Don't be sold in this idea that they are always frowning in parliament, you know, furious, you know, fuming, aggressively showing that characteristics. It only means that they are the good people who are fighting this corruption or all these pandemonium dilemmas that are taking place in our country. That is not the case. Guys, I've just thought I've made myself clear. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely one.